everybody,
personal things,
yes,
their
everybody's
vacation
taking a
days,
personal
so
day.
they'll be
Yes,
able,
correct.
gives them opportunity to use that. Okay.
All right, and then we have the appointment of firefighter Daniel Berg. Danny's working for us, correct? For the last 18 months?
He has been here since first part of September.
Okay.
Is that why we have him on an 18-month?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have another appointment of firefighter Nathan Osborne.
You've got him on for an 8-week probation period?
Nate has been here since March of 2018, and is, that's the minimum required for civil service. The order, or how they reachable on the civil service test, basically they had to pass and be reachable within the top 3 for appointment. Berg scored first and will be appointed off the list, and then through the canvas letters, Nate was reachable in the top 3 to be appointed as well.
And then we have the CBE security agreement.
I just have a question on that. Since in the resolution it says, offer to pay for security service on an hourly basis to be agreed upon in advance by the parties totaling not to exceed $4,500. I don't have a contract or a copy of the contract. Does anyone know what the hourly rate is that we're being billed, or we're charging the county for?
It will be discussed between the two, correct, Brad?
What I'm hopeful for is that I will be able to fill that slot with part-time officers, so it would just be the part-time rate.
Okay.
But if I'm unable to, I'll have to fill it with overtime officers, and it would be a time and a half rate. But they understand that. I've had numerous phone calls, and they understand that that's what they're up against.
Do you know how many hours we're gonna be?
I really don't. It's less than 8.
Okay.
It's only during school hours. It's not while the polls are open.
Yeah, right.
It's only when the school is open.
Okay.
Right, how would that affect like their after-school care that they have, programs that they have there as well?
I don't think,
They run those till right till 5:30.
yeah, but they don't, at that point, they don't open those school doors. Like, they open the doors and people come and go from the schools. I think that the whole idea for the school safety is during the regular school day. If they want it longer, in the election, people are fine with it. We'll provide that service from as early as to as late as they want. But I don't think the election people want it any longer than they have to. We're not unique. Evidently, this is happening in other spots in the county as well.
Yeah, because this is the first time we've ever offered police services at a polling site, correct?
It's the first time it's ever been requested of us,
Okay.
and I think it's because they're utilizing a school that is now occupied with students this year.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So from old business, we have the Davis Ulmer Fire Protection Inspection quote.
I have spoken to Chuck, and he said he wasn't aware of any other companies that did these inspections in this immediate area, so he said this company was reputable and that we should maybe discuss it again. Because we got this quote from them. Yeah.
You guys know?
Thanks.
This place needs no repairs of any kind, it's just the inspection of those two areas. So if anything comes up of that inspection, then we'll have to, do they do repairs at any point? Or who does the repairs, if they should happen to need repairs, who does that?
I can ask Chuck if he knows, because this is just identifying the deficiencies, so.
It's just inspection.
It's a five-year inspection.
Brian, would you happen to have any idea if this company does repairs or any other company?
I am not sure if they do repairs. I know DFT and like Allied Fire Alarm to install the systems as well, do some repairs on them. They may end up being referred back to another company or whoever puts your alarm in or maintains.
The date on this is August 27th. It says we propose the amount of money, it says, and then down here, this proposal is valid for only 30 days from the date of proposal. Just have to call and get them updated, that's all.
Does that cover all village buildings for alarm systems?
Just, yeah, it just says Village Hall
I know in
and the Opera House.
I know in the inspection report, we're deficient at the alarm inspection annually at the fire department, the DPW, wastewater treatment plant, and the filtration plant as well, so I don't know if there's like a one-shot price to cover all of the fire alarms in the village, or
Do you know what company did that?
hasn't been done to my knowledge. This was out of the inspection from when Steve went around. So one of the things that needed to be done was an annual inspection of the alarm filtration.
So, but it's, okay, so I'm a little confused, I guess. There already was an inspection and we were deemed deficient. So what are they gonna come in and do?
Well, they gave us a proposal to fix the deficiencies, and the board had discussed this in
Right, I
Sep-
remember discussing.
Yeah, but there's no, to my knowledge, there was no one else, and Chuck had told me, he's not aware of anyone else that would do that.
Right, but then,
So-
but they're gonna come in and fix them if we agree to this
I'd
contract.
have to, I don't know.
No, this is what happened with Chuck, they did, our department did the inspection and they found some problems. So they will come and give us a specific list of everything that needs to be fixed.
Oh, okay.
And then we have to find somebody to fix.
Someone else to do.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they're doing it or not, but that's the,
Is that for the alarm system or is that for the street?
It says sprinkler.
This document's been circulated to the trustees before, hasn't it?
yes.
Right,
We've
so
seen
it
this
looks
before.
familiar.
So
Well,
if
if there's
you-
nobody else who does it, we don't really have a choice, right?
well, the choice not to do it.
Right, but that's,
We
I don't
have
think
to
that's a
do
good
it.
choice.
So if you're okay with that, we can have a resolution at the next meeting to
Sure.
As long as the price is still valid.
given that the price is still valid, yes. And Maria is going to give us the current price. All right, moving on.
Can I mention something under old business? So, a long time ago, we discussed the sign at Lower Russell Joy Park, and we had, I guess, initially a plan, and it was never acted upon. Are we moving forward with getting a new sign there? What's going on with that? Does anybody know?
Actually, Tony is a little bit more aware of what's going on with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that fell through.
Right, because at one time we had
Yes.
gotten a quote for how much it was gonna cost, and then,
Yes.
and then
but
we
were never
discussed it
clear,
again, and then,
somebody was offering the job, and then, we went back and forth.
Right.
That was about 2 years ago, we were
Right.
never clear. I was never clear or anything. But we can certainly follow
I
up.
I thought we had discussed it since then, but we haven't in a while, and every time I drive by, I think we need a sign back
And
there.
we discussed it right to the materials, and
Right.
I thought that we had discussed awarded the contract, but
If we can find the right, the last.
but they never did it.
I'd like
I don't think
to,
we signed
I'd
any
like to get that
contracts.
done.
We did not sign
I
it.
don't think we signed any contract. If we can find the last communication that we had, we can probably give them a call and see. Okay, moving on to new business, we have the sewer system capital reserve fund. You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yes, I met with Jeff Smith last week, and he prepared these resolutions. If you look through them, everything will be dictated by the Board of Trustees in terms of how much you want to put in it, how you transfer the funds, how any expenditures have to be by board resolution. The one thing that I'll prepare for you at the next meeting will be how much that I'll propose could be available. And I'll give you a total amount, and then you can decide how much you want to put into each fund. I was also going to suggest that you might want to consider setting up a reserve fund also for the reservoir.
I was gonna ask that was included.
But that's
in
from the water fund.
Yeah,
That's a
well,
different fund.
It would be a separate
Yes.
than the water, the water
'cause
fund
he's-
would be for the plant operations. These reserves do not include mobile equipment, vehicles, or anything, you know. It's just, it's equipment that's, it's generally, it's a general reserve. It's not real specific, so that, but it is spelled out if you've read through it or read through it. It explains what the money can be used for. But definitely it wouldn't be used for any like automobiles, or it would be used for equipment on the premise. Water, we have two projects going on right now, water and sewer. So we can set aside some money towards the portion that we normally have to borrow, and it would reduce the amount that we could borrow. For example, it's just one. So I think we need to have some, discussion about this, and I just wanted to get this on the tables for you so you had a chance to review it, and then we'll go into it in more detail, at the next meeting if you'd like.
So are you suggesting, Jim, that we also set up another capital reserve fund specifically for the reservoir and spillway?
Yes.
Can,
I think-
this gentleman do that before next
I'll
meeting?
have him prepare it, yeah.
Okay.
I have a question on the amounts that we put in these separate funds and how much they would give us in return of interest, and how that would affect the difference between where you established that we would be investing some of our reserve fund in short-term investing, and it sounded like that would be providing us with substantial returns. And would this take that away from that, or would it be still be able to give us the same kind of return on our money? That's.
Well, if you recall, we had passed a resolution on what amount we want to maintain in our fund balance. So, and it was a range anywhere between 15% and 25%. So, you would want to consider keeping it somewhere in that range.
These are still considered fund balance, though, even though they're in a reserve, right?
Well, the
No,
reserves initially will be set up by transferring money from our fund balance into these special reserve funds. Because as you know, we're either close to, in some of the funds, we might be actually, we're over what our fund balance plan is to begin with. Plus, there'll be another adjustment, a final adjustment now that we just sold the bond anticipation notes and put them into a permanent financing.
Right.
So that's going to create a fund balance in our capital back to close to probably $1 million, in addition to what's in the general water and sewer fund. And so I'll have all those numbers for you, and then you can decide just how much you want to put into each.
So this would be then what we've been holding out in addition to what we were considering investing in this short-term investments.
That's a different thing.
I know it's a different thing, but
I don't follow you.
You were talking about government bonds or something of
Because our-
that nature?
our fund balance, we have a significant fund balance, and you said we have in some areas more than we should. So we could use that amount above that, what we should normally have into these specific reserve funds. But that wouldn't reduce the amount that we'd be utilizing for that, those investments, in those short-term investments. We were talking about some short-term investments was part of our fund balance. And that we hadn't done before, and you said that would give us a fairly good return at the rates of today. And I just want to make sure that we're not shortchanging ourselves and collecting less interest over here to do that when we could be making more interest over there. So,
I think it's more than that though, because by setting a reserve fund for the reservoir, for example, it's like an insurance policy for the reservoir.
yes.
This money is only for that. We need to fix the reservoir, we need to dredge it, we need to fix it anyways. So this is the beginning. So it's more than collecting interest.
Okay, and I do understand that it also gives us a little bit of leg up for finding grants, if you have that set aside. I do understand that too. It would be beneficial when you have that, when you're requesting a grant. So.
This whole idea, it probably falls on the O'Brien and Gear report that actually suggested in every budget, we set aside certain amounts that we haven't even been doing yet, so this would follow
We need to
that.
start addressing that report and some of the requirements. The first couple of years, if you recall in that report, we weren't gonna be spending a lot of money, but like about the third years, they had it all, they had a timetable laid out. And, but the thing about a reserve fund, that money's gonna sit there for a while, even on these existing projects.
Right.
So it gives you more of an opportunity. You don't necessarily have to just invest in short-term financing. You can go to 3 to 6 months or more, and possibly get a little better rate. But we haven't even got to that point yet. I had a meeting, it's been over a month ago with M&T Finance, and they're gonna sit down and, if you recall, we're gonna develop a plan to invest in, like US Treasury bills.
That's what I was referring to.
We have to, there's a lot of paperwork that has to be done, you have to approve it, so we're not quite there yet.
Okay.
But we'll be addressing that shortly after, we get this set up. There's a considerable amount of money, well, I would say, it's a reasonable amount of money that we can earn by investing. The rates have been over 2%, even on the US Treasury bills. We're restricted in what we can invest. So, and any investments that would take place would have to be approved by the board. So this all comes under your control. But it's a good opportunity, because of the amount of money that we have available, to earn anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000, $70,000 a year just in interest.
Right.
So
And we can do that through from the general fund.
you can do it with even some of the fund balance that's available.
Exactly. For 3 months, we know
We
that
have
we
to
don't.
analyze our cash flow requirements, so we know that we have money, but that would be more short-term.
Exactly.
You can do 30 days. And then you overlap it, you stagger it, so that you take a portion of the amount that you're gonna invest in, so every month there'll be amount that would be coming due,
And then,
Jim, I assume you'll be providing the investment interest rates as compared to the borrowing rates. I mean, if they're almost equal, I don't know, it'd be kind of foolish unless the investment rates would be much more than the borrowing rate.
Well, I'd like to back up a little bit on this. I'm not sure if you had a chance to review the bond issue that we just completed, and it was for almost $3 million. It was sold in the middle of September, we got a rate of of an average rate of around 2%, which is really outstanding. We can borrow on a treasury bill and get a little bit more than that. But we reduced our expense on this latest bond issue by $180,000 over the term of the bond. So, so it was a good thing to do, number one. Plus, you know, it's a lot easier to administer, because the interest payments are due twice a year, the principal payments they're due once a year, and, but there's considerable savings there. So, just based on that alone, you know, we're really in a good financial position right now, so.
Right.
I had a concern about typographical errors in the two documents. So I sent a memo to the clerk regarding that.
These resolutions?
Which one, I'm sorry?
Yeah, both these resolutions are structurally the same.
Right.
And but the word resolution is misspelled.
Oh, I remember the email, yes. They will be
Okay.
corrected by the time we pass them, which will be at the next meeting.
Okay.
This is just a sample. anyways.
This was just to get the board aware of what, correct?
Yes. Okay, moving along. Back electric quote for DPW. Actually, before I go there, I have to tell you about the sign. The sign in Russell Joe Park was approved by with a purchase order for Grace Masonry to do within the last 10 months. However, they had a lot of work, so it's not done yet, but it will be. So
The
that
what?
it will be.
What are we talking about?
The sign,
We had Grace, we had.
the Russell Joy Park,
Grace Construction.
the Russell Joy Park sign you just asked about.
Oh, the lower, okay.
Yeah, the lower end.
I thought you
yeah,
were trying,
the
okay.
lower, yeah.
Yeah, I knew that there was someone that we had
So
talked
here we
about.
are.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome. So we
I
go.
was thinking there was another sign that you were talking about, sorry.
Not the sign. that's
Thank you.
it. And now we have the back electric quote for DPW. What's going on here is we're changing the Christmas lights around the village hall, and we're getting these new LEDs lights that will not need any kind of replacement. However, because it's so high, Tony have asked Back Electric to do it for us because, first of all, we don't have the equipment, and second, it's not easy for our guys to do it, plus the safety, security, and all that. And the quote that they given him is $7,800 for the installation.
I don't have a copy of that quote.
Can we get
Yeah,
a,
I don't, it's just for you to have it, just, yeah, he has it.
Oh, he doesn't have it
Yeah, he
yet?
has a text.
Yeah,
Give it
nobody
to us.
has, no.
Yes, but I just want you to think about it because Christmas is coming, and
So what would they be doing exactly?
all the windows around
Okay.
where we have lights now,
Right.
but they go out, so we're going to change those.
Does that include the lights,
No, we bought the lights. That's only
That's just-
installation.
So
Yeah, they had-
$7,800 just to put them in, all around the windows, way up high and everything.
They used to use, didn't the fire department used to help us
No,
with
they
that?
can't do that.
According to Tony this morning, there needs to be an electrician to wire them in appropriately.
Oh, they're actually gonna wire them in
Yeah,
as
instead
a
of
hard
running
wire,
in.
because they used to use extension cords.
That's dangerous.
Which was, I know, so these are actually be wired in.
Yes.
Okay, that's a
That's
different.
different, that's a whole different thing than just putting them up.
Yeah, that's a little different than what I was,
Yeah.
what they had done before by far.
So just for you to know about it and to consider it. Obviously, we
Okay.
don't have any kind of resolution or anything like that, just for consideration.
What was the cost of the lights themselves?
Do we have a cost sheet on the lights?
I don't.
No.
No.
He could
Not with
he
me.
could
No.
include that too.
purchase order for the light yet or?
I haven't gotten anything yet.
Just,
He just got the quote, I guess, I haven't seen it.
I think he mentioned, I don't wanna misquote Tony, but I wanna say it was like $800 roughly. Lights and
For
guardrails.
LED lights, for all of
It was,
them?
it was the rope lights.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but it's the village hall, and I don't know, probably needs to look pretty good for Christmas. All right.
Mayor, before we move on, I have two new business. Jim, where do we stand with our audit? Does it get close to being complete?
Yeah, I just met with him this morning. There's a couple of final adjustments that are being made, and then probably have the audit report within a week or so.
Okay.
When is the state audit done? I mean, when do you have to have that in? Is there a deadline for any other state audits or anything, or are we all?
There's no state.
Well, we don't have a state audit,
Nothing
we
to be
have an
complete.
annual report
Right.
that we had to, that I've
Present.
already submitted.
Right,
August.
I think I sent you an email on that.
yeah.
The deadline is August 31st.
Yeah, and then, when the audit is completed, we'll also send that to the state.
Send that to the state too, but there's no deadline to the state
But
on
they'll
our
be
own.
meeting with you when they've completed their audit, to discuss the audit and any questions that you might have, just like we did last year, so.
Right. Okay, thanks.
And I have one more thing here. I received some correspondence from a resident. I was wondering if we could pass this to the mayor and the three trustees over on that side. This is from Diane H. Eads. It was-
I'm going to address this in my report.
Are you? Okay.
Well, you can still talk about it, Doug, because you brought it up under new business.
Well, but he doesn't know what it is. We're fixing this.
Okay, I just had, this is,
You can still ask.
yeah, this is a situation that was brought up to me that, I went past there Sunday, it's not fixed yet. And this situation was brought to our attention on September 30, or August 21st. So I just go ask,
Well, Tony is meeting with the person who is going to fix it.
Okay.
He fixed it once, like the picture that is, the second picture is already done. The first one has somebody specific, a special person to come and do it. So he's meeting with them, I think, tomorrow.
okay, I mean, this is just kind of a liability issue there if you look at it. And
It's
this
a lot
is-
of liability issue, of course.
And this was since August 21st, so if Tony could address that soon, that would be a very good thing.
We are addressing it. All right.
I also brought this up to Tony a while ago, so I talked about it with him.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Go to public portion. Actually, before we go to public portion, Ted, how about presenting, giving us a little update with your project?
Happy to. The old Card Seed Company building is what the mayor is referring to, and the grant that we received from Homes and Community Renewal in December of 2017. Labella Associates was awarded from the village the contract in June of 2018. Labella has been working since that time to develop some plans which they delivered to the mayor and me 2 weeks ago. Those plans have since been reevaluated by me, been evaluated by their engineers, and we are continuing to work with the plans that they provided to me. We'll be requesting that the state issue us an extension, as the work should have been done through no fault of the village or no fault of the investors by December of 2019. In other words, in 2 months. We have been safeguarding the money that's been set aside, and the state is ready to pay. We are just waiting for the plans to be put properly in place for downtown.
Many emails, after a lot of emails, number of emails, and phone calls and everything. But the plans look pretty good, so.
I'm happy to answer any questions that the board has, and I have a rendition of the plans with me, if that's ever of use to you. I know that now is probably not the appropriate time to show you those, but if you wish, I can show you those this evening at some point or any time that you ask for. But we're being, I guess, I want you to know that we're being very diligent on our end to make sure that we are responsible with the money, as well as following up consistently with Labella to ask for the delivery of what is being paid for through the grant by them.
And I believe you extended an invitation to the board to come and visit with you.
Yes.
That would be very good. Yeah.
Ted, I saw you earlier this summer and you expressed some concern with Labella's progress. Are you satisfied now that they're still should be the company to continue on with this, or do you foresee other issues or problems here?
I am becoming more satisfied.
Okay.
Is that fair?
As long as you're satisfied, that's because you were concerned in the summer.
We had considered the possibility of other options, and the advice that I was given from several sources was to stick with what the village had awarded to Labella and allow them to continue their development of the project, as opposed to starting all over again from scratch. Ed Schober is the architect. He's local. He's done a very, very nice job with the plans that we have received, and is now trying to alter those plans as we weigh cost versus engineering and scope. So he's a little bit back to the drawing board in some regards this week.
Did you say you submitted an extension with the state? And have they
We
approved
need
it?
to request an extension from the
Request.
state, and they are aware that, they have been aware for a while that we would probably need to ask for that,
Okay.
given the term that Labella has taken to deliver the initial plans.
When will you be doing that?
That has to happen in the next month and a half or so. That we'll be officially requesting that. I've spoken with the state a couple of times in regard to that, but an extension of official request for an actual extension is something that we need to
I don't believe you have any problem with that. I think it will be.
It's
okay.
actually Labella's responsibility
Okay, that's,
to do that.
Okay.
As the grant administrator, they were awarded not only the architecture, but also the grant administration, and this should fall under them, but I will be following up with that, as I have been with everything else.
good.
Thank you very much, Ted. I cannot wait for this to be completed. This is going to be something totally different, and for the whole area, there is nothing like that. Not the area, in a very big radius. So
there's some
very
good things
excited
coming.
about it.
Good things coming. Thank you for asking for the report. And again, I'm happy to follow up with anything that you need, and thank you for your support of it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go to public question.
This portion of the meeting is for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to speak, once recognized, shall stand and state their name and address. Speakers will be allowed 3 minutes if speaking for themselves, or 5 minutes if speaking on behalf of a group. I will ask the speakers to refrain from remarks that are in poor taste, slanderous, or not germane to any action taken or contemplated by the board.
All right, so I close the public portion, and we go to reports. Not much for me, just, excuse me?
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. First is that letter that trustee Esek has addressed before, so we are going forward to finish that. I also had a very nice visit today with WCA. They invited me, and we had a very nice discussion about many, many things. It was amazing. I had a great time this afternoon. So I want to thank them from here for giving me the opportunity to talk and visit the facility and talk with the people who live there. Thank you very much. That's my report. Trustee Christina?
Yeah, regarding the sidewalk and the railing here, I emailed Tony and also spoke with him in person about it. So hopefully, before I even knew that Diane sent this.
Tony, yes,
I said
Tony
I'd
is
spoken to him
addressing
twice
it.
about
Yes,
it,
yes,
because
Tony
it is
addressing
dangerous.
it. Yes, thank you.
That's all I have.
Jim? Trustee Linda?
I'm more quick today.
Trustee Esek?
No report.
Trustee Briggs?
The only thing I have this evening is I got another check for Ann. I like bringing money every time I come to a meeting. This one's from Festivals Fredonia. It's for the trolley fund. It was some revenue collected during the Fredonia History Days. I apologize for being a little late, but I'd like to present that to the village.
Thank you.
That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Trustee Barris?
I'd like to thank the Department of Public Works for picking up the brush. I think this is a big improvement over previous years.
Thank you very much. That's a very, very well put. All right, reports.
Fredonia Police Department report for the month of September 2019. Incidents reported 829. Fredonia Central School calls for service 6. Accidents 17. Arrests 67. Vehicle and traffic 16. Parking tickets 74. The Fredonia Fire Department report for September. Total fire 5. Rescue and EMS 146. Hazardous conditions, no fire 11. Service call 4. Good intent call 16. False alarm and false call 26, for a total of 208. The code enforcement report for the month of September 2019. Building permits issued 26. Building inspections 29. Certificates of occupancy 16. Certificates of compliance 12. Violations found 15. Violations satisfied 5. Permit fees collected $2,457.44. Rental fees $1,090. Certificates of compliance fees $575. Zoning variances $100. Water meters $238.59. Fees collected $4,461.03. Rental inspections 23, rental renewals 12. Junk car property maintenance, found 8 junk cars, 13 property maintenance inspections, removed 9 property maintenance and 3 junk cars. And that's the reports for this evening.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Correspondence was received from Thomas Battaglia, Director, Fredonia Pamphlet Recreation Department, requesting that hours and curfew be set for Halloween trick-or-treating in the village of Fredonia and town of Pamphlet, and recommendation for the annual Halloween costume parade.
Whereas the hours for trick-or-treating are hereby approved from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. on Thursday, October 31st, 2019 for the village of Fredonia and town of Pomfret, and a curfew be set for 7 p.m., and that parents be encouraged to tell their children not to trick-or-treat beyond 7 p.m. Residents are hereby urged to turn porch lights off at 7 p.m., thus signaling further trick-or-treating will not be accepted. And whereas the annual Halloween costume parade is hereby scheduled for Saturday, October 26th, 2019, starting at 1 p.m.
I second the resolution.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Esek?
Yes.
Trustee Briggs?
Yes.
Trustee Barris?
Aye.
Resolutions.
Whereas a report of unpaid village taxes for fiscal year June 1st, 2019 through May 31st, 2020 has been prepared by the receiver of taxes of the village of Fredonia, Lori Ann Richardson, and whereas the Board of Trustees has examined the list of unpaid taxes with penalty totaling $207,124.84 and found the same to be correct. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees is hereby authorized to sign a collector's report of unpaid village taxes, which is to be submitted to the Chautauqua County Director of Finance in Mayville, New York.
I second that.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Esek?
Yes.
Trustee Briggs?
Yes.
Trustee Barris?
Aye.
Be resolved that the village hall offices will be closed Monday, October 14th, 2019, Columbus Day, and that each village employee will use a personal/vacation day.
I second the resolution.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Trustee Briggs?
Yes.
Trustee Barris?
Aye. Be it resolved that Daniel Berg of 9554 Route 60, Fredonia, New York, is hereby appointed as full-time firefighter medic with the Village of Fredonia Fire Department effective October 7th, 2019, at a rate of $22.45 per hour, and will serve a probationary term of 18 months in compliance with all applicable civil service rules and regulations.
I second the resolution.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Trustee Briggs?
Yes.
Trustee Barris?
Aye.
Be it resolved that Nathan Osborne of 240 Temple Street, Fredonia, New York, is hereby appointed as full-time firefighter medic with the Village of Fredonia Fire Department, effective October 8, 2019, at a rate of $23.61 per hour, and will serve a probationary term of 8 weeks in compliance with all applicable civil service rules and regulations.
I second the resolution.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Trustee Briggs?
Yes.
Trustee Barris?
Aye.
Whereas the Chautauqua County Board of Elections has requested the Village of Fredonia Police Department provide security for the Wheelock School polling site on Election Day, and whereas Chautauqua County Board of Elections has offered to pay for security service on an hourly basis to be agreed to in advance by the parties with a total cost not to exceed $44,500, and whereas the Village of Fredonia Police Department is capable and ready to provide said security, now therefore be it resolved, the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to enter into an agreement with the Chautauqua County Board of Elections to provide said security.
I second the resolution.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Trustee Briggs?
Yes.
Trustee Barris?
Aye.
Okay, can I have an adjournment, please?
See there no further business, I make a motion to close.
Second?
I'll second that.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Trustee Briggs?
Yes.
Trustee Barris?
Aye.
Thank you.